Okay, so before the recording starts, understand that this was kind of a video where I kind of just joined in the call kind of impromptu, and like we kind of just like threw together some discussion on like Marvel. So the video you'll be like listening to will just mainly be a discussion on Marvel. I'm not really the best when it comes to Marvel, so I guess take what I say with a grain of salt in the video. Mainly just listen to everyone else because this was mainly supposed to be for fun, so. I won't really be doing these too often, so I hope you enjoy it whenever I do upload them. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy the audio. Nothing important here. See you guys later. Ciao.
Yeah, upload it. That's gonna make it too long.
Just don't even bother.
Gravity and I both gotta go soon.
Wait, guys, what if we do a 2v2?
Why would you want to do a 2v2 debate?
I don't know.
It's just not interesting. Right?
Yeah, 2v2s, honestly, yeah,
like that would like produce good results. Yeah, it's not like it would just go to shit. No,
while we're at it, we should just go on dates with his mother and Flintstone's wife.
Bro, fuck yeah, bro. Finally bring up the like, God, man. Nah, bro, Velma from Scooby-Doo, bro. Velma.
Velma from Scooby-Doo.
About you. She's like, oh no, my glasses and my pants fell down. It's like, oh no, Velma, take care of that.
You can't be talking about
oh, ass. I'm gonna make such a weak fucking pun in her room. Go fuck all you bitches. Hell yeah. Bro,
We were gonna talk about what the original plan was like. Talk about just some universal stuff, and then we were gonna talk about like I thought Gravity talked about like people who can shit stomp Saitama or something. I thought y'all talked about.
I don't fucking know what's going on anyway. I kinda just popped in here.
I don't know
See what's fucking going on.
Frisk, I thought you knew that.
I mean, I knew that, but I just everything has gone to crazy.
Well, we can just do that. Like we started off talking about like how we did earlier, just.
Yeah, legit.
And I got the scan, so I'll edit the video, and then we'll talk about Saitama. We talked about how heck Gravity and Simple. I thought we was gonna talk about like more Saitama stuff. Yeah,
hell yeah, me. I'm ready to get my rod off on.
Yeah, like name more, bro.
Name more.
I'm ready to talk about this shit.
My favorite game.
I want
Bro, I got 2 weeks off.
All right, I got 2 weeks off too.
Quiet.
Maryland gang, rise! Maryland gang, rise up!
All right, so who wants to start off with the Outerversal Marvel shit?
Me.
Not me. Should do it.
Okay.
Corin.
I mean, if you don't mind.
He's the Marvel guy, you know. Just talk.
I'm not an expert, but I know a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of are an expert in Marvel.
Okay, so go ahead, Corin.
Don't do that to him.
Outerversal Marvel.
All right, when's we gonna start?
Right now, man.
It's going now.
Yep.
Let's record it by pieces. Like have one piece and then the other.
Okay, no.
It was already recording ever since.
It's already fucking recording, my guy.
No. But I mean, like since I can't fit like a lot of pieces, let's make like you talking about one thing, one video, and then another. We start another recording and then talk about another thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that take like way too long though?
Yeah, it will. Okay, stop. Go. Go.
So here's the thing. So like starting off with some Outerversal, like in terms of the one above all, anyways, it's actually stated he's a supreme creator of the Marvel like Omniverse, aka like everything in Marvel Comics. You know what I'm saying? So that would actually mean universal realms, along with like that transcend infinite, infinite layers of higher dimensions, realms that are described as featureless, no distance beyond space and time, like the beyond realm. This is just old school stuff, like not even recent stuff like multi eternity, who embodies the superflow, the far shore, outerversal realms. I'll put some scans on the screen too. But basically, like the one above all, literally has also been called the author of all that is. He's been called like the writers and editors along with the reader in one. So he essentially does view everything in Marvel Comics as, so he is at least like in the outerversal ranges. Obviously you can argue higher, but he's easily outerversal if he views not only infinite dimensions but outerversal realms as fiction. So that's pretty easy right there. And Thanos, this is off topic, but Thanos with the regulator beat the one above all. So there's that. Now, you could even argue, since Oblivion is technically part of Marvel Comics, obviously the one above all would have created him as well, since he is credited anyways as being the supreme creator and the author of Marvel Comics, like the one above all anyways. So there's arguments for Oblivion being above him, but I'm just throwing it out there that technically he is part of the comics. So anyways, newer stuff like multiverse eternity, literally embodies the slow, which is like the highest plane of existence where concepts are in, like true forms of the concepts exist. Then you have like this far shore, which is even farther up than that, like it's above that. You have another one that's described as being the white space around creation, that like larger than, like creation is like a speck on this, and eternity literally embodies that now. So it's pretty crazy. And if we're going like with the pre-retcon Beyonder, that dude, even after giving up most of his power to get rid of the concept of death, he was still more powerful than the living tribunal, who at the time transcended all time and space, duality, transcended infinity, and all them who are all infinite higher dimensions. Like he transcended infinite higher dimensions himself. Yeah, so there's actually a lot throughout Marvel that you could get to pretty good into outerversal,
I mean, heck, I think we talked about, you mentioned earlier, like even the Infinity Gauntlet having outer shit, and I mean, Thanos even said with like the post-retcon Cosmic Cube that it's like this is the only thing that could roll it, and hell, the Incomplete Gauntlet completely negged a fucking high hyper ultimate nullifier like it was nothing, and that wasn't even fully complete.
Oh, I know, yeah, like the high hyper, exactly, with only like just a couple of the stones, like not even all of them. And he just like snapped his wrist, waved his hand, like not even Thanos either. This guy's like a lot less Thanos is way more experienced with it. And like we have Black Panther going up against and making Doctor Doom with the Beyonders power exert more power than he did against full-on Phoenix Force. So what does that tell you? And then you have like Thanos shaking the Beyond realm just from putting the Infinity Gauntlet on, like sending ripples into the Beyond realm, which is obviously beyond. It's literally described as being larger than the multiverse, which contains infinite higher dimensions, and that's pretty insane.
Yeah,
Marvel's not lacking. I mean, it's definitely not the highest on the food chain either. I can admit that, but it's not lacking when it comes to powerful characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think like even when back in the older days, I think Thanos like using Gauntlet. I think it was multi-eternity. It may not just be regular eternity, but he turned him and like some like Master Order and like Lord Chaos and shit like into stone. He petrified them, and then like just fucking Adam Warlock pulled like a god move and just fucking got it, and he negged all that shit and a whole bunch of it, which that could also be outerversal potentially as well. And it's just like they don't give a fuck when they do this shit, and it's just like, yep, nope, the undoing this or doing this on these at least high hyper, if not outerversal beings, like it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and I don't know how y'all feel about this new term, quote unquote, like low outer. I don't know if I really agree with that term, but like, what do you think about that? Nothing. Have you heard that term, the low outerversal shit?
Well, so the term outerversal is generally just beyond the concepts of space and time, right? But
Well,
how
yeah,
we
that.
treat outerversal generally just depends on the fictional verse. Like, for example, right? Like in DC, like you being based on outerversal could come from like really low in the hierarchy, and what DC considers powerful is like utterly retarded. Like, for example, like let's use like Lightspeed as an example, right? Like in DC, they treat like you literally moving at over like a billion times faster than light as like say I don't know light speed or like a measurable speed as like I don't know speeds of infinity, right? So
Yeah.
when like you have terms like low outerversal, that just seems like such a weird term because we have terms like baseline outerversal, which when you're beyond the concept of space and time, transdual, or when you're just a little ways above outerversal, that's still give or take baseline, right?
Yeah.
I think the term like low outerversal, I think that would be more of an arbitrary term. Whereas
Thank you.
say you
Yeah.
could say just use outerversal and then say high outerversal, right? Depending on the
Kind of
difference you
contradicts
think.
itself. Yeah, exactly. Because like most people are coming to me lately, like, "Oh, Rats Wiki over versus Rats Wiki," and I'm like, "Well, their definition kind of contradicts itself because it seems like it could just be high hyperversal, like what they're, you know what I'm saying? Like their justifications for it. So it's just
Like legit, when you're outerversal, you're beyond the concepts of space and
of that
fucking time. Not
dimensionality.
like
Yeah,
yeah, not like oh, if you're infinite dimensional, that means you're like a little hour. No, it could just means like you could have like infinite dimensionality, not some outerversal nature. Like
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. So that's
it's
why they're contradicted. Yeah,
it's kind of
but
weird because it's like almost like they made it just to be a bit more specific because like it literally is just more like a like high hyper like anything and maybe be like called like high hyper plus or something. It's just like yeah,
Oh
it's a
my fucking god.
reasonable amount of, like dimensions.
yeah, but yeah, but I would just honestly stick with outer, high outer, and then high, and then actual high outer versal, and then if you want to consider like tier, like boundless, if you consider that, but like I know,
I don't know. That's the really vague term. Like
yeah, I know,
I
yeah,
think how
yeah,
you treat outer and high outer just depends on the verse. Like, obviously, you have
exactly,
Uma and Echo in DC, which are just blatantly fucking high outer because the cosmos. And then,
well,
like,
yeah,
some verses, you're just outer because, like, there's just some stupid cosmology that just makes you outer for existing. Like,
well, yeah,
Skyrim.
well, like well, yeah, like we was talking about the Oblivion and One Above All in the beginning, they're just blatantly at least outer, like above baseline outer. Even if you don't think they're high outer, they're blatantly outer versal though. Just for the
Yeah,
fact
now, of
yeah,
course, of course, what degree of outer versal makes no
it
real difference
depends.
to me since
Yeah,
I'm not really the best in terms of Marvel. However, I do think it is important to keep in mind that characters in Marvel can at least have the potential to be outerversal, rather than just high hyper. Because I've seen like far less arguments for high hyper, and instead arguments for instead, maybe complex multiversal or outerversal. So like the term low outer though, like getting back to that, like I think it's really weird. Then again, we have, versus Battle Wiki removing the concept of fifth dimensional and infinite fifth dimensional and just saying that's, like just sixth dimensional when like you gotta have a fifth dimension to have a sixth one. Just saying.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah,
then
it's easy to like. It's easy like back on Marvel real quick. It's easy to get them to like I even mentioned at the beginning. I put scans, but like multi eternity now literally is at the highest level where he embodies like realms beyond the concept of dimensionality. Like the far shore itself, which is far above the freaking superflow, which were the true forms of the abstracts exist like concepts, and they like eternity embodies realms that are beyond even that, and described as being like the white campus or the white page that surrounds the creation. So there's Marvel got some good stuff going for it, but that's why I don't see why some people like try to downplay like the One Above All and like Oblivion's only being hyperversal and all that. Like they're blatantly outerversal at
But I
least.
mean, I've seen worse. I've people say like they just like, oh yeah, he commands the force of the multiverse, and it's like, and
oh
like
my
they're,
god.
they're like, yeah,
Multi-eternity is only like 5D. Oh my god, I think
yeah,
we've
like
all seen that.
in Dark
I know. Someone only said he's like infinitely 40 because he's quote unquote he embodies time in an infinite. And
Yeah,
has
like
infinite.
he's like the
Oh my
infinite
god!
embodiment of time, or he's only 5D because like he's not bound by time, but doesn't mean he has like high hyperscaling or whatever. Just oh my
Yeah.
lord.
Heck, yeah. Before he actually became the new 8 iteration, he was high hyper. Now he does embody these realms that are like outer. Like you've seen
Now
those
that
happen
son
in
of a
Gravity.
bitch, yeah, now that son of a bitch is beyond space and time, or at least the concept
Ain't
space
that
and time
crazy? I know
entirely.
that's right. I know that's crazy. We was talking about that earlier. Like, a dude that embodies time literally embodies realms that are beyond dimensionality.
Yeah, think about this, right? Assuming like Marvel were to like buy DC and like it were to go through, think of how high into Universal Marvel would just be after that. Like
Hell,
assuming they actually go through with it.
I
hell,
know,
if
and
they
that's
do
yeah.
have like these people being like high into high outer, like consistent, it's like yeah, like he's like the one above all will be like comparable and better than like the overmodders potentially. It's just like they buy it, dude. It's gonna be people think they're like at least somewhat comparable now, dude. It's gonna be it's pretty.
Like that's I know. Like, and if he already the one above all already like is the author and the editors of Marvel as a whole. To think about that. And there's also the guidebook statement that would be true then of the guidebook saying Marvel contains Star Wars, which it technically does now, and it would have DC Comics, that whole statement where it says it contains everything in
Come
fiction.
to think of it, I'm pretty
Like,
sure Transformers is like included in the Marvel Omniverse.
yeah,
I
it
think
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
I
Not to
That's
mention, right?
that's good for Transformers too.
Yeah, not to mention you also have like arguably canon like crossovers of DC. And there's some like bullshit fucking feats and like the
There are
crossovers.
some of
I
them
know
make
there's
Yeah.
this one where Galactus actually beat Darkseid.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Like in the actual, not even like in those little like animations of like true apocalypse went there and like he was starting to. The only reason Darkseid won because of technicality because he couldn't fix it on Darkseid's planet, but he literally like Silver Surfer beat the hell out of Orion and everything, bro. Like Orion.
Oh hey, you're a conqueror. Let me do what you do better.
Yeah, my God, no, right? Freaking base Silver Surfer beat Universal Orion, bro.
just an avatar or was it like actual form of Orion?
No, this was legit. This was like in the actual history.
They went to Darkseid's homeworld and it was like, bitch, we're taking over.
Yeah, like Galactus for real started wrecking shit, dude. He was about to do it. Like
it's like all y'all sons of bitches will be devoured by like your one and only Galactus.
Bruh, like this man's dark.
And then
like,
technicality happened. Yeah, technicality because like there's no like life on the list. Because he's anti-life, Darkseid. So he was like, he was just letting Darkseid kill his fiends, and he was laughing about it. And Darkseid's like, "Wow, you're evil as they come," and like like all this kind of stuff. He's like, "Let's get the hell out of here." He's like, But at first he was overpowering them, dude. It was crazy. I was reading that comic, and Silver Surfer
dude,
fighting
it was
Orion.
fucking nutty. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Like it was either during like the arguable like canon crossover event or it was like some other like side crossover.
I think
that would really help Galactus.
That was quote unquote considered canon, but it was one of those that had fan voted stuff, so it's like gets discredited.
I mean, like it's been a minute since I've seen like how they treat it as canon or like whether or not they do treat it as canon. So anyway.
Well, how long has this been going on? Y'all been paying?
This has been going on. Let's see. This has been going on for I want to say
what 10 minutes maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
No, it's been going on for like 18 minutes now.
All right. We probably cut this off because Simple said like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but anyway, so getting back to like I guess like what you guys were saying before.
I mean, can we end it right now though? It's kind of too long. I want this to be like.
Because we have to cut off 3 minutes. We'll just have to cut off these last 3 minutes.
So just
fuck
cut
it.
it
I'll
off
just
right
like
now.
upload the raw audio to my channel.
Yeah, sure.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna upload it to
That's fine.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so bruh. Okay, so let's get power ready.
So do we have
Here,
some
let me go stop the bot.
Oh.